Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for stopping by the channel for an SGC Grading Reveal video today. This is my second submission of 2024. I did another 10 cards, and while I open these up out of the box, I do know what the grades are on these. I can't help myself when they post the scans online. All your cards are en route to you, so I've already taken a look at these, and I think I did really well with the submission. Very pleased again with SGC, as we'll get into during today's video. In the meantime, I have a couple cards up in the background as I free these from my last submission, and they're themes that I continued in with this group of 10 cards again this time. So I'll leave this box here out of the way just to keep some space as we go through these. And let's see what we got. We're going to start off with a couple of hockey buybacks, and let me locate those in the stack here to get started. I submitted these in my last submission as well, and here's an example of one. Say Ron Francis in this case, but in 2020, the Leaf Company put out this Pro Set Memories release, and they included Pro Set hockey buybacks from the 3 Pro Set hockey sets in the early 90s before that company went bankrupt, and they're numbered to just 5. So they're pretty tough cards, and I've really been digging these. And I have 4 of them in this submission. So let's start with those. And then after that, I think it's going to be all baseball from there on out. First up, the Golden Brett. Terrible nickname, but one of the great goal scorers in hockey history. And certainly when combined with his father, Bobby Hull, one of the great father-son tandems in the history of the sport. This is a very recognizable, I would say, hockey card to people that were collecting back in 1990, because Brett was like the cover boy in this card for the 1990 Pro Set set. It was all over like the boxes and, you know, the press material and stuff like that. So a very memorable and recognizable card. Thrilled to have copy 3 of 5, one of the 5 copies out there of this, and it came back with an 8.5. Now, the grades on these really don't matter to me. It sounds silly to say that because I bothered to send them in, but with cards that are serial numbered to 5, I'm really just looking to get them authenticated, and I love that the serial numbering is right on the flip with SGC, which is something you don't get with the other graders. Next up, the second of 4 Pro Set buybacks, and I was really shocked at this one. Hall of Famer Ray Bourque, one of the all-time premier defensemen and one of the best offensive defensemen in the history of hockey. And what's awesome about this one, this is also copy 3 of 5. You can make out there, just like the Brett Hull, but one of the things Pro Set was known for was their errors in their printing. And this is definitely a case, because if you're a hockey fan, you know that is not how you spell Bourque. They're missing a U. It should be Bourque, but in classic Pro Set style, they misspelled the name of probably the premier defenseman of his day. And if we look on the back, they got it right. And look at that hair. Just wow. Crazy. I should have shown the back of the Brett Hull, because he had a nice mullet too, although you don't really get to see it. But yeah, that Ray Bourque, classic Pro Set misspelling. I love this card. Great image. Have even a cameo there by my beloved Hartford Whalers. And I was very surprised to see this come back a 9.5. I wouldn't think too many 1990 Pro Set cards were even a 9.5 right out of the pack back in 1990. So was not expecting that, but I'll take it. And then the last 2 are the 2 that I was most excited about on the hockey front. Ever since I learned of these buybacks, I've been waiting patiently for one particular card in particular to surface. And it did finally. That was redundant. One particular card in particular. But it did finally surface. Bought it from the same seller as the Bourque and the Brett Hull, actually. And this one is probably my favorite of any of these buybacks, because I am a diehard, or was a diehard, Hartford Whalers fan. Check that out. Got the Hartford Whalers team card, copy 5 of 5. And as I mentioned, I love that you get it right here on the flip, the 5 of 5 serial numbering. I legitimately waited about almost 2 years patiently for this card to actually surface. You know, I knew 5 of them existed in theory, plus allegedly somewhere out there there's a red 1 of 1, so 6 total. But I didn't see any for probably 24 months until this one surfaced. I was prepared to go nuclear and pay whatever it took to get my hands on this card for my hockey collection, but it didn't come down to that. I think I won this for around $30. So really pleased with that as a Whalers fan. Doesn't get much better. And then let's see. The last one here has, on the hockey front anyway, has a linked story or a backstory here. So in the last submission that I did, I sent in this Wayne Gretzky 2,000 point achievement card, which I love this card. It's one of my favorite Gretzky cards from my youth. I really think ProSet did a great job with this, and it got an 8.5. Well, the same seller that I bought these buybacks from listed a second copy of it, like right after I got this grading submission back. And I bought another Wayne Gretzky because I love this card that much. And I was just incredibly pumped that this time it came back a 9. I know that's like a silly distinction, but for, you know, the great number 99, getting this card in a 9 is just like infinitely cooler to me than having it in 8.5. As silly as that is, I get it. And this is also copy 2 of 5, my lucky number. So now kind of my plan here was to sell one of these, most likely, because I don't really need to. So I will keep the lucky number 2 graded 9 for number 99. And in the coming days, I will probably list this on eBay and just see if I can maybe get like a crazy asking price from some Gretzky collector out there. These are not easy to come by, obviously, with just 5 of them, but obviously it's, you know, at the same time, it's kind of a niche card. So we'll see how I do with that. If I'm able to sell that, I'll certainly do a follow-up video. Next up, this card also has a link to previous submissions that I've done with SGC because I like sending them these Upper Deck Sweet Spot relic cards from the 2000s featuring Hall of Famers. I'm not generally a big relic collector. I will freely admit that. I have very few of them in my overall collection, and I don't intend to become a big-time relic collector. I just want some select, very carefully chosen examples where hopefully where the swatch or the relic is, you know, in some way unique or meaningful. And I think I did that with both of these next 2 cards in this submission. We'll start off with this Jim Palmer. Got an 8.5. This is from the same set, 2007 Sweet Spot Classic, as that Nolan Ryan from my last submission. And it's really obvious what drew me to this is, you know, that bright orange Orioles swatch. Like, that is just fantastic. Really, really dig that. And works perfectly with all the orange here and those baby blues on this Jim Palmer card. Again, don't really care too much about the grades on these. It's more about the presentation, but happy this got an 8.5 to match that Nolan Ryan. And then I'm even more pumped about this one just because I'm a bigger fan of the player, and it got an even better grade. Check this one out. Frank Robinson from that bright red Cleveland Indians era. You have the photo to match. It's a little bit of a shame that the photo is black and white, but any of us who are baseball fans know the deep red of this particular Indians jersey and cap, and I thought it was a perfect match for that red swatch. Great smiling image of Hank here. Really, really cool. And this one came back a 9, which tends to be my favorite grade. I buy a lot of 9s when I buy pre-graded cards online. So really pumped to have Frank Robinson in my small little relic, Hall of Fame relic collection. Then I've got 4 more cards left here on the baseball front. Let's start with one that's a really cool addition to my one of my collecting focuses for the year, my Negro League focus. Check this card out. I've shown it before. It's from 2015 Topps Stadium Club, the Larry Doby card, and features Jackie Robinson as well. Very notable to me because these are obviously the 2 players who broke the color barrier in their respective leagues, and I just love that photograph of the 2 of them in their Major League Baseball uniforms. When you think about what it took to get to this moment and everything that led up to this moment in history, and these 2 gentlemen doing what they did, it's just a really meaningful card. And what's cool about this one, it's the black foil, as you can see on the flip, which just means that the Stadium Club logo and this foil work here is done in black foil instead of silver, like the base cards. But these are, while they're not serial numbered, they have an acknowledged print run from Topps of 201. So not a brutally tough card by any means, but somewhat limited. And I just loved everything about the combination of that card between the photo, the black and white photo with the black foil, knowing that there's 200 copies or so of it out there. I thought that was a great one to send in, and certainly one that will be used in the background of many upcoming videos during this calendar year here on YouTube. And then I've got one more from Panini Prism featuring a Hall of Famer here. And this also has a link to a previous submission. So just like I'm not usually a relic card fan, but I will buy them on occasion. I'm not usually a Panini Prism baseball fan, but I have gotten into the 2023 set. And this Pete Rose is one that I had in my last submission because I love the photo and I love the team color match with the red here for the Reds. I'm a huge believer in this card. Numbered to 199. It's cheap. Like I think I paid $5 for this before I sent it in. Well, in this submission, I sent another Prism baseball card. It was another sub $5 pickup. And I know it seems a little bit odd probably to be sending in, $3 modern baseball cards for grading, but I really like the way this presents and it goes nicely with the Pete Rose. It's the Bob Feller red Prism, just like the Pete Rose, numbered to 199. And look at the shine on this card. I mean, depending on how you hold it, it looks like he's, pitching at sunset or sunrise or dusk. It's just, I love the background here. I'm a big fan of Panini Prism. They just really pop these cards, I think, compared to the Topps Chrome Refractors. And then I've talked about this exact image before and this card before, but that image is like all time. I love that high leg kick Bob Feller image, just gorgeous. And this one came back a perfect 10, which, I was surprised by. So I got the 9.5 on the Pete Rose first time around this year, and I got the 10 on the Bob Feller here. So we'll see if I keep it going. I'm going to try to round up my next 10 cards here for SGC, and maybe I'll include another Prism card in that batch. And then I have two modern baseball cards to close it out featuring the same player. This first one I bought off eBay for $20, and it came back a 9.5. This is the Bowman Chrome World Baseball Classic U.S. Flag refractor of Mookie Betts, and it's the gold refractor, as you can see here, numbered to 50. Just love the image. Great swing here. Of course, the World Baseball Classic in 2023 was epic. Team USA making it all the way to that finals against Shohei Ohtani and the Japanese team, and it was just really, really, really cool experience to be a part of and to be a fan and to watch. And love this Mookie card when I saw it. It's just very patriotic. And as modern cards go, especially gold, numbered to 50, right up my alley. Was, I think, $19 to grab this card off eBay. And then $15 grading fee from SGC. And really pleased to see that one come back a 9.5. I don't do anything with my cards before I send them off. I didn't take this out and, rub it down with a cloth or do anything. I just took it out of the case from eBay and put it in a card saver and mailed it off. So happy to get that 9.5. And then the last one here I was really surprised with. I bought this card on ComC of all places, and you don't get great scans when you're shopping on ComC. They're okay, but you don't get the fine level of detail that you would need typically to find small flaws with a card. But this card came back a Gem Mint 10, and it's the 2019 Mookie Betts, the Father's Day Blue. And just like the last Mookie card that we looked at a moment ago, this is also serial numbered to just 50 copies. Love this image. This is Mookie's final Topps card with the Red Sox. I have numerous other versions of it. I've got the Independence Day and a bunch of the Chrome Refractors and Sapphire and all that stuff, but I never owned the Father's Day Blue numbered to 50, and I cannot believe this got a perfect 10. These like paper, quote-unquote, traditional cardstock parallels from the 2000s are generally pretty tough to grade well. So I haven't looked up like a population on this or anything, but I can't imagine there are very many SGC or PSA 10s of this particular card. There's only 50 to begin with, but my guess is within that 50, only a very small percentage of them would grade a 10. So two awesome additions to the Mookie collection there. Another successful submission with SGC. I continue to be impressed with their customer support, their experience from start to finish. It is so easy to put one of these submissions together. And again, the turnaround time on this was in the 2 to 3 week time frame, and that's from the point where it left my mailbox to the point where it was back in my mailbox, right about 3 weeks. So you can't beat it. I love this company, and I am, as I mentioned, already gathering together my next 10 cards, but wanted to share the latest submission with you. So I certainly appreciate you checking these out. Hope you enjoyed at least a few of these cards, and I'll be back very soon with some more content. Till then, enjoy the hobby, everybody. See ya.